Breaking news. U.S. planning military invasion of Taiwan and China warn it could retaliate. The U.S. could be planning a military invasion of China in an act of severe subversion if it sends Marines to guard the de facto U.S. embassy in Taiwan, and Beijing could be forced to retaliate. According to Chinese state media. A new report indicates the U.S. is to deploy military personnel to the new American Institute in Taiwan. 8. Beijing has warned such a move would be a subversion of the One China policy in an editorial in the Global Times. It also warned it was grounds for China to deploy an increasing number of countermeasures which Washington will have to confront. Although the decision has not been confirmed, the Global Times warned, if the U.S. Marines publicly station at the 8 in their uniforms, that would be treated by Beijing as a severe subversion of the One China policy or even an invasion of the U.S. military of Chinese soil. The 8 would also be regarded as a primary stronghold for the U.S. invasion of China. Taiwan leader Tsai Ing-wen's administration would be defined as a traitorous group. That being said, from a strategic perspective, the 8 would become the most insecure place in Taiwan and a blasting fuse for clashes. The 8 performs the functions of a U.S. embassy, but it is not technically one. There are also other questions which are yet to be answered, such as whether the U.S. service members would be dressed in uniforms or casual clothing. Senior research fellow at the Global Taiwan Institute, Davidin, said, "My sense is that the final decision is still under consideration inside the U.S. State Department." The Chinese report also said if Washington stirs up trouble and makes extreme arrangements, it knows how Beijing will respond. But Mr. An said 10, 20 or even 30 U.S. Marines in Taiwan protecting the 8 would hardly be an invasion. He added this is because such a tiny number of U.S. forces is not a real capability against foreign militaries. Tensions between Beijing and Washington have been escalating over Taiwan and the ongoing trade dispute between the two nations. The highest-ranking U.S. trade negotiator Robert Lighthizer said, "We clearly have a chronic problem with China. Some issues will be dealt with in a short period of time," he said, but added that directionally, "We're going to have a problem with China that's going to go on for years."